Okay, today I'd like to show you to make a whole set of bowls, uh, meaning that if you repeat the same shape, same size, there are some ways to pay attention to. First, you need to find the amount of clay that is similar, and then when you make your first one and you want to repeat the same shape again, you want to have a good measurement, the uh, the width and the depth, especially the inside. Like if I want to make a set of bowl, the uh, the width and the depth, if they are the same, the outside, the foot, the thickness of the bowl is adjustable. So as long as the inside stays the same, you will have a very good similar shape. So I will first to start to make my first bowl, and then I will try to repeat the same shape again. Making sure that my clay is thick on my bed. Okay, the clay is centered. I'm ready to open the hole. So when making balls, usually the inside you wanna open a curve instead of open it like a 90 degrees angle. It's a little bit different from making a cylinder. So making a ball, you need to have inside a little curve. And slowly raise up the wall. Before you keep on moving it up, raising it up, make sure it's slippery, especially a bowl. It's easy to get dry, so take some time to lubricate to get the surface slippery before you pour. Get slippery, and then slowly raise the wall. And I usually taking care of the outside first. Get the shape look a little bit nicer. Just slightly compress and pushing the wall against my rib. And I'm sliding and bending the rib. using the chamois. Okay, so the outside has been taken care, and then I like to compress the inside, especially the middle part, the center point. Sometimes a little bit messy and the curve is not very smooth. So this is my ribs for compressing the inside part, especially the inside center point. And this is the 4 inches rib for compressing a medium-sized board. You see that there are 3 holes. I'm using my finger to grip so it doesn't slip on my finger. Just dip it in the water. Compress and slowly move up. Start from the center point and then slowly move up. Not too much compressing on the upper part of the wall, just for concentrate on the inside part. Okay. After that, you can use a sponge to remove all the the slip, or if you really care, that you could use a rib to smooth the inside part, so that you don't have the wood texture. But this is not necessary, but for myself I usually want to have a nice smooth inside part, so I use the metal rib to compress a bit. So this is the first bowl that I made, and I can trim the bottom, trim the clay off the bottom. And again, this is my number 10, the very pointy tool that is go nicely, especially to undercut it, versus the needle tool. Usually, somehow if you're using the needle tool, you tend to push the clay back to stick on the wall. So I like to use my number 10, and it's easy to remove the clay from the bottom corner. And after I finish, I usually like to clean up my bed, because when the bed is clean, when the clay is wet, it's easier to clean. Once the clay dry, it's hard to clean, so I like to keep it nice and neat on my bed. So this is my first bowl, and if I want to repeat the same shape, you want to have the width and the depth stays the same. So the outside shape, of course, you have to kind of see what's the shape look like, and the rest of it is adjustable. Like the height of the foot and the thickness of the wall is adjustable. But as long as the inside is the same, you are going to have a nice repeated shape. So first I want to measure it. And again, I'm introducing my measuring tool, And this is a small set, like I told you in my previous video. I have a larger and small. This is a smaller one. It's wide enough for me to do it. So basically I'm going to hold the position, hold the tool in position. And for the Japanese, they kind of using the wooden stick to tie it. And it's called Tombo, okay, Tombo. So this is the more advanced, so that the kind of update for the Tombo Sticks. So basically I have an O-ring, so I'm going to insert the O-ring into my vertical ruler, so roughly there, and then put my horizontal tool over. So this one is in position, and I kind of like to put another piece to hold it. Okay. So this is adjustable. So first we could measure the depth. Right, so this is about right. The depth is about here. And then I'm going to insert, I'm going to put my smaller, thinner O-ring on both ends of the stick, the measuring tool. So right here, center, put the vertical in the center. Right, so the both O-ring on each side, so the shape inside should look like this. So the next one I will do the same way, that use this as my guide, so I can repeat the same ball over and over again as long as I have the depth and the width the same. The rim I touch a little bit, so I'm going to compress it again. Right, so that's the first one. Then put another bed. So you will get the similar size of the clay. And do the same kind of a throwing. Center first, and open the hole again. before my next move, making sure that this is slippery everywhere from inside to outside. Okay. So we could roughly check it with the stick. Okay, so the depth is fine, but the width needs to be a little bit wider. We could just stretch it, and once you stretch it, it will become lower. So that's what I'm gonna do. Start to stretch it. And check it again. Right, still the depth is fine, a little bit, and needs to be stretched a little bit more, a little bit wider. Right, it's about right, just a little bit taller, so I'm gonna stretch it a little bit and then trim a little bit so that the depth is the same. And the outside shape is fine, so I'm going to take care of the inside curve before I trim. Okay, so again, my 4 inches rib compressed in the center. I use the metal rib to remove the wooden mark. Right, so that's about it. Let's do the final check-in. Right, so it's a little bit too tall, on which is good that it's a little bit extra clay that we can just trim it off. So this will be about right. Let's use a sponge to compress, remove the excess clay off, and then I use the chamois to run the rim. Just use my both finger to compress it. See that the both finger there on the rim to compress. the trim the bottom corner off. Clean my bed. Okay, so this is the second bowl that I show you. You want to compare both bowls, that same width, same depth, and the bottom is adjustable, the feet that you could trim it. But as long as the inside dimension, the depth and the width stays the same, you could repeat your same shape over and over again. So that's the I'm showing that my invention, for my other function, that this is very useful tool. So if you want to get a set, it's selling in my Etsy shop, ETSY. So hope you enjoy the video. Thank you.